Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, I'm Brent Manley. This is my channel. I've been going for a little bit. Ain't got much of a life, and I have no excuse, but it is what it is. You know, do you remember? Yeah, do you remember growing up during the '70s? I grew up during the '70s. I was born in 1964. Life just seems so much slower, and the kids spent their time outside making their own fun. Nowadays, it seems like nobody wants to go outside. I mean, I could share so many memories of growing up in the '70s, from riding our bikes, until sunset. I mean, I can remember waking up in the morning, eating our bowl of Cheerios, or what was those, Cocoa Puffs? Cocoa Puffs or Tricks. Eating that, and then out the door we went. Usually lunch it wasn't a big thing. At least not for me. If I ate lunch, I ate lunch. But I was guaranteed dinner. And I'd be going the whole day outside playing. Maybe somebody's backyard. It was summertime in somebody's swimming pool. You always wore shorts. You're always prepared. Or riding around on your bikes. At one time, the big thing was big wheels. You remember big wheels? I had the real big wheel, one wheel on the front with the pedals on it, and then in the back, it had the two small wheels, and you sat like high off the ground. That was a big craze back. God, I couldn't remember. I can't remember exact date or year. But that was a big craze. And a lot of times, what happened was those big wheels. Right, there was where the seat going to where the steering was. It was a thin piece of plastic, and after a while, that would crack and it would break. And what we used to do, is we used to get 2x4 and slide it on both sides. And usually it was like our dad, and they draw a screw in there on both sides, front, the top of it and the bottom of it on both ends. Yeah, we used to call ourselves the Big Wheel Gang. It was like 4 or 5 of us kids. Yeah, but see, it was such great times back then. Everything seemed so innocent. Everything, and we had good times. You had music before auto-tune. That's when you had people that could sing. Now they got the auto-tune. It was just great times. I mean, it was just, you didn't go, you try to stay far away from your parents, No, I'm not trying to say that our generation was the best generation, because I'm pretty sure that would be an argument. You had the 50s, people growing up in the 50s, people grow up in the 40s or 30s. But I just think I have a lot of good memories from the '70s. We got a built-in pool put in our house. No, believe me, we were not rich. Okay, I to this day I don't know how we afforded it, but we got a built-in pool put in. Didn't last very long. Lasted a couple of years, 6, 7 years, and they say after a while the sides, because it wasn't cement, it was your liners and everything like that. They say after 6 or 7 years, the sides will start coming in. Well, that's what happened. The sides started coming in. And then they filled it up. That was a half-assed job right there, because the yard was like this. Yeah, the '70s, man. They were the greatest times. I mean, there was a lot of things going on back then, but we didn't know about it. Our parents didn't talk to us about it. Our parents didn't get us involved in anything as far as political. But I do remember the night that Richard Nixon resigned as in the office of the president. I still remember that. I was laying on the living room floor. We had one of those, remember the big console TVs? We had one of them. I don't know what size screen it was. I don't remember, man. But the dials were on the side, and then it was a big console TV, man. It was big. The thing was heavy as hell. And watching that, and I think it was my mom, my Aunt Shirley, my mom's sister, and there was a couple of people, other people that were watching. I remember my Aunt Shirley got all upset because that wasn't common, you know. But I'll be honest with you, man. I think now some of the stuff that they pull off in Washington, these politicians, I don't think it would be put up with during our time in the '70s. I don't think our parents would have put up. Both my parents were Democratic. They weren't the Democrats of today. They were the Democrats of then. You know what I mean? Totally different set of political beliefs. Totally different. No, I don't want to talk about politics, but it was just the times there were so great, you know. I mean, we entertained ourselves. We did some crazy stuff, you know, in the pool playing Marco Polo and it's stuff like that, you know. I remember stuff like that, and if you had a disagreement with somebody in school, you know, you went out back and you dealt with it, you know. Not like it is today. Not like it's far from like it is today. Just life was so much easier. I don't know how you feel, man, but life was so much better back then. So much better. I kind of wish we can go back to them times. I don't know about you, but I just got my hair's like all over the freaking place. Yeah, I got a haircut. I'm not ADD or anything. I just noticed it. I got my haircut yesterday. It was like, oh my God. Let me see, left side. I don't know. I'll worry about it later. It's late. But yeah, I think about things. Life was so much easier. We didn't know what was going on in the world, and we didn't need to know what was going on in the world. We didn't care. We had more important things to worry about. We had more important things to worry about than what was going on in the world, because our parents, they never let us in. You know what I mean? They never talked about stuff. They didn't talk about. The only thing I remember them talking about was when Richard Nixon. That was the only thing I can remember. You know, that's the only thing I can remember. But today, kids are just. I feel for them. I feel sorry for kids today. I do. They got so much pressure. You know, parents want to be friends. I don't want to be my parents' friends. No, I got my own friends. I don't need you. You're my mom and dad, not my friend. But I also bring that way of thinking to present time, you know. I'm your parent. Well, when I had my kids, I'm your parent. I don't want to be your friend. I got enough friends. I don't need any more, you know. And I think that's one of the downfalls of everything nowadays is kids are raised in, oh, well, you got abused. No, when I did something wrong, if I did something really, really wrong, I got my ass whipped. Okay? We didn't sit down and discuss it. I got my ass whipped and it was over and done with. I can only remember being grounded twice. Twice when I was growing up. The rest of the times I got my ass whipped and it was over and done with. And then I thought, well, if I do it again, I can't get caught. You know? It was just basic shit, you know? I just think kids today are under so much pressure. And a lot of parents put that on them, you know? Who's the parent? Who's the adult? I'd be more than happy to go back to when I was growing up, you know? No, I know you can't go back in time, but it's a much better place. I just think it is. I think it was a much better place. So I got one question here, so I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. If you grew up in the 70s and early 80s, like 81, 82, or even the late 60s, what's what do you remember the most of? What memory do you hold that puts a smile on your face sometimes if you're sitting back and watching TV and all of a sudden it just something sparks your memory where you think about what you did when you were a kid. And I think the shows were a lot better better than the stuff they put out now. I mean, yeah, they wouldn't be very good on nowadays. People have them canceled, but I think they were a lot better back then. All in the Family, The Jeffersons. Maude was Maude, if you remember Maude. Good Times with JJ. They were innocent. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, man. If you like this video, can you give me a thumbs up? If you're not subscribed, can you go ahead and subscribe? I'm just starting this channel out. Well, actually, I haven't just started out. It's been sitting for a while. But I'll let you all go, and thank you for listening. Bye for now.